Hello and welcome back to another home update. I feel like I haven't done one of these in a while, and that's because most of the changes that I've been making to the apartment, and I have been making changes, have been such small things that I haven't felt the need to document it in a big way. But I have been making some small changes, and I have a couple more things that I want to do to the apartment because these things do take time and a budget. So I try to pace myself, but most of the updates I'm going to be making in this video are to the living room, which is what you see behind me. Mostly reorganizing my bookshelves and reorganizing my books. Nothing major, just separating some genres from other genres and moving things around a little bit. I have a new bookshelf. Actually, I think I have two new bookshelves, but only one that is going to replace the ones that I have behind me. And I have it in mind to replace my smaller bookshelves anyway, but these things are very expensive. So I would rather make the changes that I want to make little by little over time than go, ham on something that in my opinion is something that I really want but isn't necessary, because like I said, these things take time. Some of the changes that I've made in the past couple of months is adding these floating shelves to the corner of the living room. Just ignore the pile of books that are here. These don't have a place to go yet, but they're moving somewhere. This is kind of my sewing / workstation in the living room, and I added these floating shelves that I picked up from Amazon. And I also, behind them, you can see I added some flower decals that I thought were really pretty, and I haven't decided like how far I want them to go. I have an extra set of them, but I put these on the wall one day on a whim, and then I ended up really liking it, so I just got an extra pair because I thought it was so nice to look at. Another thing that I'm thinking of doing is moving this mirror. This mirror has been here since I moved in. I haven't changed where it's been, but I'm thinking of moving it to the other side of the room, of the wall, and moving the bookshelves all the way here. It doesn't really bother me. There really isn't anything wrong with the current location, but it just like after a couple of years, the space kind of starts to feel the same. And if you're like me, you just want to switch things around. And this is the one thing that hasn't moved. This part of the wall has stayed the same since I first, put my furniture together after moving in. So I think that would be nice. I think that would be a significant enough change for the room to feel like hugely refreshed. And the new bookshelf that I got is the same length as this one. This is the tallest one that I have. It's about I want to say 94 inches. The other ones are about 60 I think, yeah, like 60 inches. So this is the tall one. I got another Billy bookcase that is the same height as this bookcase, but it's wider. It's twice as wide as this one. So I'm going to be replacing one of the shorter bookcases here, and that'll give me a little bit more shelf space to store my books. On that note, one of the things that I have to do to get started is to make a quick trip to IKEA to buy things that I could have delivered to me, but the delivery costs these days are it's robbery, and I want to make sure I'm getting a big enough shelf and a sturdy enough shelf that I won't have to replace every couple of years. Yeah, so we're running errands today. I got this bookcase from Facebook Marketplace, barely used, and lucky me, the seller was gracious enough to help deliver it to me because I don't have a car, I don't drive, but they delivered it to me as soon as I got back from IKEA. So today has gone smoothly, which is good. We like that. So I decided to put it here in this corner, and I have to drill it into the wall. It's going to need some help sticking to the wall, but the plan is to move the books that I currently have piled over here on like that random office space to this space here. I'm going to put them here in that part of the room. Good, nice and sturdy. So these books, the books that I'm putting on this shelf are like my non-fiction books on like spirituality, productivity, healing, creativity, that sort of thing. And I didn't really used to have a lot of these because I'm more of a fiction reader. I prefer to read fiction. But over the years, I found myself reading more and more non-fiction. So it's kind of gotten to the point where it just makes sense to move them away from the other like bouquet where I put like all my fiction stuff, specifically because I was running out of space on that shelf. So like, you know what, let's just reorganize all of this and kind of separate the books based off of whether it's fiction or non-fiction. But then there's a little overlap because there are some books here that I'm reading to kind of study the art of writing fiction, because that's something that I want to do at some point in my life. But right now I'm in the studying phase of that dream. Sometimes I actually find myself thinking it might be a little nice to be a go with the flow type of person. I wonder what it's like to be the kind of person who isn't obsessed with organizing things to a minute detail, you know, like organizing by author and by genre, like the people who have books and who don't organize it using any system. Like, what is it like in their mind? What is it like in their life to be that carefree about life? That is something that I can't relate to, because I need to be able to find almost all of my books. I need to know where they are. That brings me joy. Like, not being able to do that is something that just doesn't make sense to me, you know? But yeah, that is something that I ponder a lot. Must be nice. Just kind of... I already love the look of the mirror on this side of the room. And it must be some kind of like fresh look, fresh perspective thing, but the space already feels really different since I've pushed the bookcases to that side of the wall. Let me give you a wide view. And this is the widest view I can give you. It already feels a little different. Clearly, it's a mess right now. As you can see, all the books are like, well, not all the books, but most of the books are off the shelf. So it is a huge mess in there and here too. They're just like things everywhere. But all these things will be sorted in just a little while. I just wanted to show you what the mirror looks like on this side of the room. I like it. And I feel like because it's closer to the window, the lights actually being on you and, you know, being in this part of the room, this is the brightest part of the room. It just makes more sense. I don't even know why I didn't think about it sooner. It makes more sense for the mirror to be on this side of the room. I love it. I love how it looks. I also don't know if it's obvious that the extra Billy shelves that I got here, I decided to get them in this tan wood. I don't know if you can see, I got a matching set just to give it a little extra, you know, thing. It just seemed like it would be fun, so I did, and I like it. I like the look of it. I think it breaks up the shelf evenly. I don't know if that makes sense. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Yeah. I even have label printer. Yeah, to bump uglies, yeah. I don't know if you noticed when I was setting up the bookshelves that for these Billy bookcases, that's what these two are. The top are extenders, and they are such a useful addition to the bookcase. I also think if you already have the space for getting a Billy bookcase and you're going to get one and you have like high ceilings, my ceilings aren't like crazy high, but I think they're higher than the average. If you can, like, getting book extenders is such a great way to maximize the space. And I've just always loved that when they were thinking about the design for the bookcase, I think it's a like pretty basic bookcase. It's not like anything special, but it's very functional. I love that when they were thinking about the book space that they considered different like height ceilings and extensions and, you know, all of that. It's really, really, really smart addition. I know that this is an arduous process for some people, and it is. It is an arduous process. Like, it's very repetitive, and it can be very stressful, like moving books around and doing this. But I really, really enjoy doing it. It's one of my favorite things to do. I always look forward to it, to arranging my bookshelf. I don't know what it is about it. Maybe there's a term or a name for it, but I'm going to keep moving things around and do as much as I can before I call it a day today. It is a Sunday, so I do want to spend some time preparing for work. But I think between yesterday and today, I got a lot of work done, and I like that. I'm glad I finally got off my ass and did it. So I'm just going to keep moving things around until all the books are exactly where I want them to be. And yeah. Yesterday would be 3 years and 4 months since I moved into this apartment, since my sister and I moved into this apartment. And sometime last week I was thinking about when I first moved into the apartment, how anxious I was for the fact that I didn't have money first to furnish the apartment. So I think we spent the first 9 months to a year empty, like we literally had no couch. We bought a TV at some point because that is something that I need. And of course I had my books, but we didn't have a couch for the first year, and I didn't even have a bed. I had a mattress. So my sister and I had mattresses on the floor, and it didn't really matter like at that point where you slept. So I think the mattress was in the living room for a long time, and my bedroom was just, and it wasn't until halfway into our second year living in this apartment that I think that's when we actually started buying furniture little by little and little by little. And the reason why I bring that up is because now that I'm into the third year, almost fourth year living in this apartment, I'm filled with a lot of gratitude, because of how long the entire process takes. And I spend a lot of time on the home improvement, home lifestyle part of the internet, whether it's on Pinterest or on Instagram or on TikTok. I'm always looking at people's homes. I love looking at people's homes. I like putting videos of my home out there clearly. And I like home update videos, but I think sometimes it can be very easy. I read it in people's comments sometimes, that feeling that I think we all get or have gotten at some point. If you love looking at that type of content, it's very easy to get, wistful when you're comparing what your home looks like versus what other people's homes look like. And I just found myself thinking about it last week. And I actually have it written somewhere on a sticky note that building a home takes time. The same way building yourself takes time. And I'm glad that I allowed my home to take the time that it took, especially if you were like me in your 20s and you didn't exactly know what your style was. I spent a lot of my late teens to early 20s moving around. I was nomad-like kind of, because I was going from country to country for my education, for school and things. So it really took a long time before I found a place. So the idea of settling into a place, like when you're moving around like that, you don't really get to build, a sense of what you want your home to look like, kind of, because you're busy with other things. You're busy growing up, you're busy in college life or in dorm life and all of that. But I think it's a very integral part of figuring out who you actually are, is trying to figure out what kind of space you want to live in. And that takes time. And not only does it take time, it takes a lot of experience experimenting. And I know a huge part of experimenting comes with, you know, the privilege of having money, because furniture, you know, costs money. But then, you know, there are ways to work around those type of stuff. There's DIYing, there's buying secondhand furniture and all of that, you know. But the point of all of this is it takes time. And I also wanted to put that out there if there was anyone that was watching and was feeling like that, like you're in a space where, or maybe you haven't even found yourself in an apartment that you like enough to want to decorate, or maybe you're still kind of living with roommates. I did all of that. Discovering yourself and discovering your taste and building a kind of home takes time. I know it can be very easy to look around and see what other people are doing and be discouraged, because you look around and you either don't have the money to make your space look, you know, aesthetically pleasing, but your life cannot be boiled down to what is aesthetically pleasing. There is more to you than that. It's easier said than done. It's definitely something that you grow to appreciate about yourself as time goes on. But I just wanted to put that out there. If you're feeling that type of way, if that thought crosses your mind, because it still crosses my mind when I, you know, look at my home, and I'm very like happy in my home. But, you know, not only are the things that we curate and put in our homes temporary, but they're also not the most interesting parts of ourselves. What is more interesting than how your place looks is how you feel in it. That is, I think, the point that I actually wanted to make. But yeah, I hope you find that helpful. But anyway, I am almost done with setting up everything I have to set up. I have 2 more things. I want to put up this mirror. I got this mirror from IKEA. It was like a $15, $16 irregular curved mirror that I just saw and I grabbed, and I'm glad I did, because when I came home, I was showing a friend of mine what I got. She wanted to get it too. Turns out it's not available online in the US. So I found it in the store and I just picked it up, and I'm glad I did. I'm glad I didn't like decide to come home and order it online, because I wouldn't have been able to. But I'll still put the name and whatever link I can find in the description box, just in case you want to track it down for yourself, you're able to. But it's available in the UK and in Sweden and a bunch of other countries. I think Australia too, but it wasn't available in the US online for order online. Or maybe it's my state, I'm not sure. But it's really small. It's a small wall mirror and lights, but I wanted to put it on this side of the wall because I moved the mirror from one side of the room to the next. So this place, it feels a little, because there's no mirror on this part of the room anymore, it feels a little, I don't know, barren to me. Everything just seems like I turn books. So that's why I wanted to put a mirror up there. See what I mean? It's so small. That's it. That is literally it. Okay, let's put this up. I have this huge portrait that my brother took last year that I haven't really, I haven't had a place to hang it. I didn't know where to hang it because the apartment is so small and it just seems really large. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah. It's really large. So now I'm thinking, I finally decided to put it in the left-hand corner of the room. Although it's a big portrait, I think it will look good in that corner of the room. I don't really have anywhere else to put it. And then once I hang it, the next thing will be replacing those curtains, and that will be it. That will be the last thing I will do for now. Okay. Okay, so right now I have a two-toned curtain situation happening here. I've had these two for 2 years, but I want to switch them out for a full blackout set. I bought some new brown linen curtains that I will be replacing these ones with. I'll also be replacing these ones at the back. Actually, I have a friend who wants to take the sheer curtains from me, so I love that someone else will be getting good use out of it. They're still in really great condition. These ones I actually made myself. a while ago. I was like, you know what? Curtains are really expensive. This particular like curtains, the ones that I was finding at the time were really expensive. It seemed cheaper to buy the fabric myself. I think I got it on sale from Mood at the time. So I got a bunch of fabric and I just thought it would be a really fun project to do. So I made these curtains myself. These ones I bought from Target, I think, and they are really good linen material. The more I look at these curtains, the more I actually think don't laugh, they will make a really good like pants set or like a linen dress. I think that's what I'm going to use the white ones for. These ones are going to be going into my bedroom. I'm going to be using them in my bedroom as blackout curtains because we are getting into spring and summer and it gets ridiculously bright in the mornings in my bedroom. So I'm going to put some blackout curtains there as well, just these ones. But these ones are, I think it will make a really nice dress. And I'm going to be moving the curtains up. I'm going to be moving it a little bit closer to the ceiling, which is something that I really should have done when I first moved in. And what I'm actually hoping for is that I will be done with this in like an hour because it's almost lunch and I am running out of fuel. I'm getting tired. So in like an hour and a half tops, I'm hoping that will be done.
Said the last drink was the last drink. You make it hard to leave. We're telling secrets in the dark while drinking whiskey neat. I would fall in a second if you let me, 'cause you're all that I want. Could you let me in? The last drink was the last drink, but I don't wanna leave. I wanna get closer. Don't want this night to be over. Wanna get closer, it's not over yet. We could go back to my place, 'cause I don't wanna waste no precious time. So let's go back to my place. If it's only for tonight, let's make it count. I love it, how your touch feels. I love it, how you look at me in my place. No, I don't wanna waste no precious time.
Okay, I'm done putting up the curtains, and of course it took longer than an hour. It took like an hour and 45 minutes roughly, but I don't know. I feel like it does make a difference. So I got longer curtains. The ones that I had before were 98 inches. So these ones are 110 inch long, and I got 4 panels to make it full, and I like it. I like the darker curtains. I like the way it looks, and I made it all the way to the bottom of my list, and it only took about a month roughly, all of these. So that is the end of all the home updates. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, if you have any questions about any of the things I used or some of the things that I did, let me know. Let me know what you think in the comment section, and I will try to leave as many links to all the things I used in the video in the description box. And sometimes I post all that information on my blog too, but I'll leave all the links in the description box. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you in my next video.